Hello, it's Natalie, and today, as another part of the Tatty Treasure Facebook group September group challenge, I'm gonna today make these. They're sort of like specimen cards. I don't know if you can see. And the challenge is to use up book pages, and specifically the picture pages from books. So I'm actually going to use up some text and some pictures from a book, and it's also using a laminator to laminate the flower, and also layered it with a bit of, if you can see, a bit of sort of muslin on there as well. So these are the pouches that I have that someone kindly gave to me. I've got quite a few of them, so I couldn't find anything else yet that I was going to do with this, so I'm going to give them a go. I think they're just ones from Amazon, as far as I know. So yeah, that's those. And the book that I'm going to use is a book just from a secondhand bookshop that I've had for a while, and I love the cover of this book. I think it's a lovely colour, and I love the aging on it, and it's just a really lovely size, really nice book. And it's mostly text pages, so I'm going to use them just in various projects probably. And then it has some picture pages, but I haven't used them as yet because some of the pictures are not of a great quality, but they are very nice. There are some bigger plates that, like this one for instance, which I think is absolutely lovely. A lovely picture, which I might just use some of these bigger ones just to make a large card out of. And they're one-sided pages as well, these. And they've also got this lovely thin paper over the top of each picture. So yeah, there's lots of pictures, but I wasn't really sure how I was going to use them. So I'm thinking this is one of them that I just took out of the book, and then I fussy cut around it and then layered it with the muslin and laminated it. Quite happy with that. So I'm going to go through that process and show you what I've done again on a couple of others. Yeah, you see the bigger pages I think I'll just use for a different project. Yeah, and also for the edges of this I've just used a few of the text pages, or actually one of the text pages. So yeah, I want to use the content because the bit I like the most is actually the cover. Is such a lovely colour, so nice. So yeah, that's the book that I'm using. So I've fussy cut a couple of other flowers from that book. So I've got this one and this one, and I'm going to do it in the same sort of style. I've also got some more of the muslin, which I've actually, it was just a plain white colour, and I've dyed some in various colours, the yellow, a green, a pink, and then kind of a random one. It's kind of quite pale, but it's various various colours. And I've done these just by, I just lay them on a piece of paper, and then I've got various spray bottles which I just have acrylic paint mixed with water, and then I just lay them on the paper and then just spray it over the top and then let it dry, and then yeah, you get quite nice, quite subtle most of the time, quite nice colours. So I'm going to use the bits of this and then my flowers, and yeah, and then I'm going to use some book page around the edge of the same. So for the first one, just got one of the pouches just so I can judge the size that I need. Okay, so I'll just decide what colour I'm going to do for the first one, for this flower. So which colour I'm going to put behind. I might use the yellow on that one actually, like a bit of contrast, and then I might use the pink for that one, I think. Yeah. Okay, so I use a bit of that for that one, or I could, on one of them, just thinking now, maybe for one of them, maybe this one, I could needs to fit in this size. Maybe I could put a ticket, and then maybe put a few of these on here, possibly. Maybe. So it's like a little cluster, but then laminated. Then of course I've got the plain side. What we could do with the plain side here is, if I get my little envelope full of stamps, and I just look for maybe a few stamps. Yeah, maybe stick those onto there, and then that will add interest to the one side, and then on the other side I'll have my flowers layered onto the ticket. Yeah, and then the other one I think I'll do in the same way as this one, just with different colours. Okay, great. Okay, I'm just going to get on with that and prepare these then. I'm going to cut this muslin down. I'm going to stick the stamps on the back of here. I'll probably just lightly stick down these so they don't move around, and then I'm going to put them in the laminating pouches, and then we'll get the laminator out and make a start with the laminating and see how it works. It worked okay on this one, but I don't have a brilliant track record with laminators. They do tend to go wrong on me, so we'll see. Okay, so I'm just gonna get on and do that now. Right, so I've got my two laminating pouches ready. I'm gonna go off and get the laminator, get it plugged in and heated up, and then I will be back with laminator to have a go at the next part. Okay, so my laminator is ready to go, so I am going to try putting through. I'm just going to move it over because those lights are quite annoying. Right, so I'm just going to feed it in until it catches, and then hopefully, if we're lucky, it'll come out of the other side. It's actually coming out. There we go. Okay, that's not bad. It's a little bit, you can always straighten it off a bit. Let's be careful, it's a little bit hot. I'll just flatten it a bit. So yeah, it's quite nice. And then on the other side you've got the stamps. So that's actually quite nice for a start. Let's try the other one. Okay, let's let that go through. The suspense. Wondering if it's going to come out the other side or not. Oh, there we go. There we go. Okay. Actually really nice. Actually, because these pictures are quite dull from the book, and actually the laminating process actually makes them a bit brighter because it makes them shiny. So I'm very pleased with that. I think the fabric in there looks great, and it kind of looks nicer on the plain side with the fabric in there, I think. Right, okay, so I'm just gonna lay those to one side. I'm gonna turn this off and move it, and then we'll get back to finishing the cards. Right, so I've got my laminated pictures, which I'm really pleased with actually. I think they look really nice, and I think that flower has come up lovely after being laminated. It's nice and bright now. Okay, so I've got my vintage photo ink to ink the edges around, and I've got some glue to stick the edging on, and so I'm going to choose a page. Not really worried what page, it's all about gardening in some form or another. So I'm just going to choose one with some quite solid text on it. There we go, let's have that one. I'm just going to rip it out. Okay, so I'm going to do it the same as this one. So all I've actually just done raw edges on this one, so it's just folded pieces. I've done them 3 centimeters wide. So yeah, I think that's, yeah, 1.5 and then 1.5 on the back. So just 3 centimeters, then folded in half. So I'm just going to tear this page into strips, and just going to get rid of that bit. So this ruler is 3 centimeters wide, so I'm just going to use the ruler to tear the strips. Okay, put that bit aside. So, and then I'm just going to fold them all just in half. It's really nice paper actually, this book. It's nice and thick, the paper. So it's got a lovely colour. So just going to fold them all in half. Again, as I say, this is a very similar process to how I framed some Edith Holden book page pieces in another video that I did, which is another part of the challenge for this month. Right, so I'm going to ink these initially before I put them on. So I'm going to ink the folded edge. And I'm also going to ink along the edge that's going to be on the inside on the card. As well. Just going to go across all of these. Okay, so now I've got all my pieces inked initially. Just going to put a bit more on. Right, I'm going to start sticking it down. So I think what I'm going to do, which is what I did on the other one, I'm just going to take my glue. I'm using this glue. I mean, I think probably any glue will be fine, but I know that this one sticks plastic beads and fabric quite nicely, so I just want to make sure that it sticks to the plastic of the laminated pouch. So I'm just gonna initially just put a little bit along that line just to hold it, and then I'm just going to overlap it very slightly to the inside, and then I'm going to fold it down just on that one side. Just moved it now. Clever. Right. Put it straight. Just gonna okay. And then I'm gonna turn it over. And I'm gonna do the other side. I'm just going to put a line of glue here and then a bit at the end just to seal it all in. We'll probably be trimming some of the ends of this off afterwards, but for now we'll just leave it like this. any bits of glue come out, we can just wipe them. I'm not pressing it down too hard because I don't want too much of the glue to squish out. Okay, so I'm just going to do the same on this side. Just a very thin line of glue, and then we're going to trim the ends anyway, so it doesn't have to be completely in the middle or anything. I'm just choosing the area with more text. Just using my dry wipe here just to get any bits that seep out. Again, I'm not pressing down too hard. Okay. And then I'm gonna do the same on this side, and this time again I'm gonna put a bit of glue along the sides, and then stick down this side. And sticking down the ends as well just helps to keep it together while it's drying. There's another bit of glue on the other side. Just need to wipe. That's why you don't want to press too hard sticking it down. Okay, so we've got the two sides there now. Now we want to actually cut off. Just going to mark. So we want it to overlap by about 5 millimeters, I guess, 1/4 of an inch maybe. So we've got 1.5 centimeters. So I'm going to cut off like above the pouch, above the edge of the pouch, by about 1 centimeter. And the same on the other side. Don't have to be massively accurate with this. It doesn't have to all be dead straight and perfect, because it's not supposed to be. It's made by hand. Okay, so then what we're going to do is follow the same procedure again, just inserting this side. And you can see where we've cut off here, it just goes up to the fold, and then you've got a little overlap with the plastic there. So I'm going to do the same as before. I'm going to stick a little line of glue. I'm going to put a bit up here this time. Just stick that, and then stick that down. And then I'm going to turn it over, and a bit on each end, a little line across on the plastic part, and then I'm just going to put another bit up here. Okay, let's get my dry wipe. Okay, again, I'm pressing very lightly. I'm not squishing it down at all because I don't want the glue oozing. Right, and then the last side, just check that we've got it. Yeah, so again, going up to the fold here, we've got a little overlap with the plastic, and then gonna same again, a little bit of glue across there, some on there, and then a little line there. Right. Just getting any glue off of the plastic part with the dry wipe. Okay. Just might need a bit more glue on here. Okay. So this is the last side. Clean up the plastic. Okay. Okay. So we're going to trim off the overhang at the edges. So I'm going to just lay my ruler, and then I'm just going to tear the end pieces off. You can cut them if you like a neater edge, but I don't mind it just torn. So there we go, there's our card. It's really nice in the window, and then on the back we've got our stamps. I'm just gonna ink these newly torn edges to match everything else. There we go. So there's 2 so far. I really love this one, the ticket. This is just a printed ticket as well, it's not an original. I think it's probably an Artie Mays digital, this one that I've just printed out. Okay, so basically going to do exactly the same on the final one. Okay, so here they are. And then obviously you can decorate them further if you want to decorate around the outside, put a label. Quite good actually to insert into little pockets if you make a pocket. I'm really pleased with those. There we go. I love this one, the ticket. There we go. Get the effect of the window there. Okay. So there we go. Thank you so much for watching.